Hey guys, welcome back to the Play School. Today's song is Your Song by Elton John. Now we're going to learn this in the key of C, which the original is in E flat, which makes it tricky to play. So what we're going to do is we're just going to transpose it down. It's going to sound almost identical, be a little easier on the singers. So let's have a go. As ever, we're going to start with the chords, talk a little bit about rhythm and structure, and at the end, I'm going to give you a couple of extra touches that are going to make it really pop. Okay, so let's go. So as I said, Your Song is going to be in the key of C for us today. All your white notes. Okay, easy peasy. What Elton John does is he uses chords that are often squarely in the key that we're working in, but he uses them very creatively. So I think with the exception of a couple of F sharps here and there, we're basically using all the white notes again. So let's get started. First chord, C. C, skip one, play one, E, skip one, play one, G. And then we're going to invert that. So that means take the C from the bottom, put it on the top. Then we're going to invert it again, E from the bottom, put it on the top. Then we have a C major chord in second inversion. As ever, we're going to match that with a C at the bottom. Now, this intro is going to consist of 3 different chords, but all of them are going to have this C underneath. We're going to talk a bit more about slash chords at the end, but that's basically what that means. When you see a chord slash a different note, in this instance we might see F slash C, it means we've got an F in the right hand and the left hand is going to play a C. Think about it as F over C. Literally the F is over the C. So speaking of which, that's our second chord. So we're going to go from here to F over C. This is this pivot move where we keep our middle finger in the same place and just pivot our other fingers up to the next chord. Now, our third chord is G slash C. We're going to take our G. F and G are adjacent chords, so there's no shared notes. We are going to take our G here in root position. That means our thumb is on the root note, the G, and then it's evenly spaced. B, D. Still slash C. And then we're going to go back to F. So C, F, G, F. Right, and that's going to sound like... Let's talk about the verse, okay? The verse, we've just come from here. First thing we're going to do is pivot back into our C chord. Back to where we started the entire piece. And then we're going to go to our F again, but this time we're going to take our left hand with us. Then we're going to go to our same G chord as we did in the intro, but again, left hand this time is coming with us. So we go, next chord is E minor. E minor is E, G, B. And we've got G and B and D. So all we're going to do is just reach up. Now we're going to go to an A minor. We've got an A here. So we're just going to put our thumb on it. If your thumb is on the root note, that means we're in root position. So A, skip one, play one, skip one, play one, staying within that key signature of C. These next 4 chords, all that's going to change for the first 3 is the bass line. A minor slash G, A minor slash F sharp, and then just pop that pinky up to F. Very similar. It's exactly the same, really, as what we just did from G to E minor. This is going to take us from A minor to F. Okay, so let's run those first 8 chords. We've got. Second half of your verse. We're going to go back to our C chord here. this time it's going to be C/G. So, and then we're going to bring our right hand to join our left. Now our next chord is E major. We played E minor before. In fact, we did that exact change, G to E minor. Now, in order to make E into a major chord, we need to raise the middle note, but remember, it's only the middle note when it's in root position. So that's the G. Yeah? From here, it's still the G. It's not the middle note anymore, it's still the G. Okay, so to go from a G chord, we're going to just reach forward slightly. Our last chord is an A minor, so we're just it's the same kind of contracting move, but it feels even like a lesser move because we're already on that G sharp. Okay, so that gives us C/G, G, E major, A minor, and to finish this off, we'll go back again to our C in the same position as we started. And to get to D minor, we're just going to move everything in that direction. And then we've got F. Now D minor to F, just that little swap in the middle. We go from D, F, A to F, A, C. The last chord. Now, the first time we hit this, we're going to go to a G. Yeah. So that's the same change as we did in the intro. F to G. Now, what we're going to do to link us back round is a lovely little chord, which is F over G. It's got a real sense of like, and we're leading on to the next part. So we're in a G here, we're just going to go back to where we just were. Yeah? So that's your first time. Then we are back and we go round that verse one more time. Now, the only difference between the first time and the second time is rather than you can hear how here, rather than going back to the next part of the verse, we have a more of a resolved ending. Whenever it feels like we've ended, we're going back to our root chord, and that is our C. Okay? Now, interestingly, before we get to the chorus, we're going to do that C, we're going to do that F move again that we did linking the two verses together. But this time it's going to come over our C chord. So, whoops. Okay, so we have just come from here. What we're going to do is we're going to play the chorus starting on a G, root position. Okay, G, B, D, A minor, root position. Just stepping up. Now we need a D up to an F, a D minor up to an F. We've done this a couple of times in both directions. To get from A minor, A, C, E, we need D, F, A. We've already got the A. So we're going to go D, F, A to expand. If you remember, D minor to F is just one change. D becomes C. So you can tell this is a song. And then same again. Maybe quite simple. Now that is done. Okay. twice round that same chord sequence. And now we're actually going to do the same rundown with the A minor that we did in the verse. Do the same ending. How wonderful is and that, when we end, is the same F over G chord that we played, F slash G chord that we played in between the verses. Okay, so let's play that whole chorus. That is going to take us on to another verse. Now we should talk about the structure. Okay, so Elton John, usually structurally pretty simple. In this instance, we've got our intro and a verse, and then another verse, and then a chorus, and then another intro, and then another verse, and then another verse, and then another chorus. And the only thing we need to talk about really is that we've got this double length or 1.5 length chorus. So the second time we hit this chorus, we're going to go, hope you don't mind. And then we're going to do that A minor stretch again. And just like we did with the first two verses and the second two verses, we're going to resolve instead of going to the G. So okay, so two things I want to talk to you about. First one's pretty simple. We've used a few slash chords in this piece, the ones that are essential. Now, if you find the music for this piece, I'll put a link to the music down below. You can see there's actually a few more slash chords that drop in here and there. Now, don't want you to worry about those. All it means is you change your left hand note. Your right hand doesn't care about slash chords. Your left hand just plays a slightly different note. So like, you might find there's a C slash E instead of a C here. All we're going to do, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. The most fun we can have here is a little rhythmic variation to our right hand that's going to keep this rhythm like ticking over, because we've learned a lot of static chords there and those will get you through. But Elton's good like this. He's always doing something, and that's what gives us that really flowing element to his piano playing. Now we're going to start with something that's pretty simple, but it's going to be very effective. All you're going to do is think about this rhythm. Those are your changes, and all we're going to do is like lead into the changes with our right hand. And all we're going to do is play the bass note again, and then play the notes in ascending order. Okay. And that's going to give us a nice steady bass line, because the bass is actually just playing beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Used to that, as long as you keep your fingers in time, you can do whatever variations you see fit. Have a lot of fun. See ya.